there. It's your friend, Timothy Mouse. As you know, Dumbo is a real high flyer. So as to make your flight a safe one, be sure to stay seated with your seatbelt fastened, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside. And for all you grown-up types, be sure to watch your kids. To make your pachyderm fly higher, just raise the magic lever right in front of you. Okay, Dumbo, let's get this show on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of Timothy Mouse from the Dumbo attraction, Chris Edgerly.
I'm not getting paid today, am I?
Huh?
I'm not getting paid today, am I?
You're not getting paid today.
This is one of the free things.
Absolutely.
Okay.
This is as free as it gets. Hey, Chris, what was the first Disney job you ever did? Do you recall?
The first Disney job I ever had was in Orlando as a waiter at the Whispering Canyon Cafe at the Wilderness Lodge. So I got fired. I guess they don't call it that at Disney. I was released. I was given rehire status. I showed up to work and they said, Chris, come into the office. And that's never been a good thing to hear. And they said, Chris, we want someone who's going to be a good employee for us, and you're not that employee. So if you went to the Whispering Canyon Cafe around November of '95, have their traditions, their orientation process is 6 weeks or 3 months, and I made it through half of that. So I never even made it out of orientation before they realized I was not Disney material. And I said, could I at least work today? And they said, no. And they said, this security guard will escort you to your vehicle. And as I'm being walked out off property, the guy finds out while he's chatting with me. I guess the handbook says, make polite conversation with the fired employee. We don't want him to be resentful or anything, so... It comes out that I'm also a stand-up comic and I was touring, and he said, hey, I'd like to get into stand-up comedy. How do you get into that stand-up comedy? And I said, well, first you have to be able to endure something as humiliating as this. Got a leg up there. And then the next year, I was still living in Orlando, and I got hired, I got cast to do some live video referencing work for Mulan. I was Shang for a few scenes in Mulan. I held a sword and waved it around and lip-synced to some of the stuff they were already doing for animatics and things like that. And then when I moved to Los Angeles, I found a wonderful agency, Pat Brady, who's here. But I am for Pat, represents some of the people up here. Pat's the reason I have a career. And one of the first bookings I had of any kind was my first Disney job, and it was Timothy the Mouse for the Dumbo ride. And so I just thought that, okay, you do this voice thing for a little bit, and then you're in the park.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That was one of the very first things I booked. And it's funny because they have a cue here that says Chris Edgerly's Dumbo audio, and I didn't see the O, and I just thought it said Chris Edgerly's dumb audio. That's not very polite. I'm sitting right here.
Chris, that is what it said.
Okay. Somebody put in an O. Thank you. Love you.
But they remember you from Security Land.
Yeah, Security. So if you were poorly served at the Whispering Canyon Cafe in November of '95 thinking, that guy needs to find another job, he did.
And we're all richer for it. Well, we certainly are.
Yeah.
Now, you also are the voice of Scuttle in Ariel's Undersea Adventure.
Yes. When the ride was finished, but it wasn't ready for the public, like they let a lot of us go on, or I guess it had just done a soft opening, and so Pat and I went on the ride. She said, come on, let's see what you did. And I had a blast, and while I'm on the ride, I'm thinking, there's Scuttle. So I whip out my phone and I start recording it. All right? And then we get to the end of the ride, and two very nice people were waiting on us. And they said, hi, we noticed on the ride you were recording Scuttle. I said, yeah, I am Scuttle. And I started, I did the voice of Scuttle on the ride there, and I thought I'd record it. They said, that's fantastic. Please hand us your phone. They're deleting my Scuttle. I'm like, but I am Scuttle. It's like, yes, we know that. And I'm just going to take this off there. There you go. Thank you. And now you can like see 3 hours of Scuttle on YouTube. And it's constantly, yeah, it's like surveillance footage, but yeah.
You should have waited for it.
I know, I should have just waited a little bit, but I took my kids on the Scuttle ride, but, well, it's not the Scuttle ride. It's,
And I love that you've been busted twice at Disneyland.
just put me on rehire. That's all I ask. Is who is here in 2011 for the voice panel? Were you here? Okay. And who is here in 2013? Okay. Both times I stood up in front of all you good folks and said, hey, my wife couldn't be here because she just gave birth to our son Remy. Everybody say, hey, Remy. And you said, hey, Remy. And I got it on videotape. And then in 2013, my daughter Violet had been born. And I said, hey, please say, hey, Violet. And you all said, hey, Violet. Would you mind?
No, I don't mind at all.
Okay, I know. It's the Chris Edgerly show. Okay. Hey, my son Remy and my daughter Violet and my wife Gigi are all here. Would you mind everyone saying, hey, Remy, Violet, and Gigi? Because one day they may forget this, but I'm not going to let them. So, on 3, say, hey, Remy, Violet, and Gigi, go. Never think I don't love you, all of you. Thank you. Thank you, Brian.
My pleasure, Chris. Thank you.
Sir, I saw you were reporting part of the show you were on, the other panel.
Please leave your phone on your chair as you
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, may I remind you that no video or audio recording
Kids, this is called good comedy right here. This is how you take one for the team right there. There you go.
Welcome to Security Land.
Panel ends in 20 seconds.
This isn't actually a phone, it's a whatchamahoosit.
You know, we only have 1 hour for this panel. I don't want to be the voice of Doom Bear, but thank you, Chris. I'd like to